Been moved to the bench from the centre court, and Janine Lynch is on for Rosalie Jenke at goalkeeper.
And Melbourne, with the Southby improving slightly, 66%, still off the best, 4 from 6. It's Bryant that's done the damage with 8 from 10 and 80%. Contacts going off the boil in their shooting. Purser dropping to 66% with 6 from 9. Jackie Delaney down to 57%. They'll need those to lift if they're going to get back the lead.
So 16 shots apiece put up in that second quarter. And the quarter won by Melbourne 12-10. So it's interesting that Norma Plummer, although they won the second quarter, having drawn the first, she's made these changes. McInnes, Benison. I think between us we picked the changes though.
I think we're pretty on target. The basic thing for Melbourne is they still hadn't been able to establish their natural rhythm. So the mid-court change will be to try and allow them to get that flow back.
Delaney, well-placed ball from Cobb. Not the shot though. Against Taverner, so the shot for Purser. Absolutely crucial, the first 5 minutes of this third quarter, that Contacts stick with Melbourne.
Oh, great take by Benison on the drive across the face of the circle.
Contact, ball attack. Ball attack out behind.
So Jocelyn Bryant put beside Sutter. Harvey. Delaney. Sanders. Purser's open. Oh, let's turn around and stretch from Sharon Purser.
Oh, great challenge from Delaney to back up that rebound tip.
Some of the Contacts fans, as Contacts pull one back and have possession. Sanders turned inside out by that ball.
Oh, great take from Delaney. She's strong onto the ball. Not much room out on court in this match. Just shows you how tenacious the defence is from both sides. They're really shutting down the spaces. Players having to work for every inch.
Delaney now. Oh, great work from Purser to give it to Cobb, and now back from Sanders. And they've pulled in the 2-goal deficit.
Purser hauls it back in off the line. Cobb backed her up, and Sanders and Cobb work the outside until they can find Purser. This is an exciting start for Contacts. They've come off the half-time bench, fired up.
Yeah, they've created another turnover while we're watching that replay, and have possession for the lead.
Smokin'.
Well, Contacts really got hammered through the first 2 quarters in the penalties. 32 against Contacts to Melbourne's 14.
Interesting, though, they've opened this quarter with all the penalties against Melbourne. 4 against Melbourne, none against Contacts. That helps you when you're running at someone. That was good timing then from Delaney. Caught Taverner with her arms raised. Cobb just couldn't get it to her quick enough. Delaney's revved it up.
5-1. Contacts start this third quarter.
Southby nowhere to go. She was on the line. The ball was virtually knocked out of her hands, and the Melbourne bench screaming at Jan Cross. Southby, of course, had driven as far as she could go to the transverse line, so you can't keep going to keep trying to haul the ball back in. If the defender's pushing through from behind, it's a difficult situation.
It's a worried Simone McInnes, the on-court captain for Melbourne, as the 2-goal half-time lead is more than gone. Delaney bounces it in for Purser. As casual as you please. Look at them go. Contacts are hot.
Fleiner blocked out. Neal and Sanders teaming up nicely on her.
Fleiner. Boy, this is a difficult time for a young player like Fleiner, 21, to come into a match. Fleiner performed very well last week.
She had a great game, and we talked to death about the variety in the Melbourne line. Still Susie Howie sitting there.
Contact against Taverner. She's got a sore mouth out of it. Delaney. And everything going right for Contax.
Delaney's open with 5 from 7 in this third quarter. So whatever Margangov said to her shooters during the week, we probably can't repeat half of it. It's done the trick. And quite a handy shooter on the bench for them.
Yes, V. Wilson. Shouting out encouragement to Sharon Purser off camera at the other end. Meanwhile, it's the Contax defence that have the job now, trying to shut down.
Oh, good work. Harvey had Southby's move mirrored.
Wilson's happy. Flying a court with over a 3-second ball. Sanders.
Oh, and just look at the flow down court from Contax. They've just come out fighting.
Lynch.
And too much adrenaline on that one from Purser. Can't blame her. The ball came down with such urgency and drive through the midcourt.
That's off Contax, so Melbourne ball, and they're down by 4. As they were after 4 minutes of the first quarter, they're more than capable of coming back if this rejigged centre court lineup gets its act together.
Melbourne has all the ability in the world, but it's just amazing how you can read the mood from off court, and Melbourne look all hesitation and uncertainty. Contact confident, and there was no reason for that reversal coming into this third quarter.
Just the third goal for Melbourne in this third quarter after 7 minutes of play.
Audine Cobb really worked that transverse line well to find the space off the centre, but the intercepts come back in the circle. Too much on that one for Simone McInnes.
Sanders to Neal.
Can't help but thinking that Contax have come out in the mood of the aggressor here.
And that's against Purser. Use of the hips, says Sharon Burge. The crowd booing every call that goes against the Adelaide team. Bryant to Fleiner. Benison. Southby.
Sutter caught because her head was down. She had the move match but dropped her eyes. Sutter, you can see she's just off camera now. Just dropped her head to check where Southby was, and of course if you're a feeder, that's when you fire it.
Well, the 2 goals that Melbourne led by at halftime is the margin that Contax enjoy now. Last 4 minutes of the third quarter. And I wonder, is Norma Plummer regretting in any way those changes she made, Anne, at halftime?
Well, I think it's a combination of that, more so the fact that Contax came out from the half-time break and put the foot down. Delaney with a new sense of urgency. She's put up 5 from 7. Purser's re-entered the game. They were rather quiet in the second, but Contax really pushing the ball down court, and it's starting here with the back line.
Harvey and Sutter are desperate. Sutter gets up gingerly again. She's got this sore ankle. Delaney, Cobb, Purser.
Cobb having a great game on Simone McInnes. She's hard to pin down around the edge of the circle.
Cobb. Delaney finally works around to the front of Lynch. Must put the shot up.
Delaney!
And does. Norma Plummer worried. Melbourne coach. 3 minutes left. Oh, in the third quarter. McInnes and Delaney were tangled up for a moment. Southby has not been in the game a lot in this quarter.
Delaney still has another quarter to answer to, but so far she's saved the match of her life for a crucial one.
Eloise Southby, a little tentative on it.
Well, she was on 50% before that shot, was on 3 from 6. She's 3 from 7. This is not her best game, yet the most important so far for Melbourne.
Where you are.
And you could see her signalling there that she was getting chops on the arm, so they feel they're not getting the protection.
Harvey works it across to Cobb. Flies through the air to take it. Delaney to Purser. Michelle Benison does enough to push it out.
Purser passing off there shows they feel no pressure. They're happy to play it around until they get the position they want. There's no sense of put it up from anywhere.
Delaney. And Janine Lynch's rebound. Gives it to Taverner. 2 minutes left in the third. Flyner. Melbourne need a couple. Bryant. Flyner. Southby being warned by Sutter.
Contact.
Finally shakes her off. Let's go, says Southby. And they have the centre pass, so they can get it back to 1. 90 seconds left in the third. Taverner. Flyner. Bryant. Sanders nearly took it out of the hands of Benison.
Flyner's added a lot more speed to the mid-court, but they're struggling finding their shooters. The pressure is on from Harvey and Sutter.
Southby sinks a couple of crucial goals. And they're back in touch. Harvey.
Contact, we attack. Penalty pass.
As close as the scoreline has been, I still think Contacts have dominated ever so slightly throughout this match. From the moment they stepped on, they've put the pressure on, and their key has been to run at Melbourne and disrupt their rhythm.
Well, we're in the last minute of the third, and they could well be level as they start the fourth, in which case it's all down to the last 15 minutes. It doesn't matter about the first 3 quarters.
No, let's take a breath and face the final quarter. Oh. Harvey realising it had caught her around the back, and she just threw herself full stretch at it.
Contact, wing defence, centre third.
Contact against Neil, and Melbourne, against all odds, might even have the lead as they go to 3-quarter time.
Well, it's amazing that Melbourne have spent this quarter losing the lead to claw their way back just to get it.
McInnes, Bryant, they've got to get it there quickly because the timekeeper is up.
Contact sooner.
Contact against Southby, so they won't score again. 3-quarter time is blown, and having trailed by 4 at one stage, Melbourne during this third quarter are now up by 1, 35-34. Melbourne then have possession and a skinny lead as we begin the last 15 minutes from the third quarter.
Melbourne, Southby still in poor form in goals. Just the 6 from 10, 60%. 5 from 6 from Bryant. So she stayed well on target right through the match, 83%. Contacts, the accuracy not there, but enjoying more possession in that third quarter. 6 from 10 for Purser at 60%. 6 from 9 from Delaney at 66%. I think, though, the calibre of some of their goals, very aggressive.
So 19 attempts put up in the third quarter by Contacts to Melbourne 16, and Contacts won the quarter 12-11. A further indication of how tight this game is, and first quarter was 12-all, second quarter was won by Melbourne 12-10, the third quarter was won by Contacts 12-11.
And the crowd not liking that backline throw-in decision from Sharon Burge. No prizes for knowing they want a Contacts win.
Harvey to Cobb.
This is certainly one of the best matches we've seen in the competition.
Purser. Lynch timed it nicely, the jump, but Purser wasn't phased. And now Contacts can lead if they convert possession here. It'll be Harvey from the side.
Play.
Cobb. Harvey. I don't know how the commentators are going to save something for the next match. This has been a rip snorter.
Well, I think it'll be more of the same.
Delaney.
It's just about as good a netball as you'll see anywhere for skill.
Contact ball attack.
As well as intensity.
Benison, Taverner.
Centre third.
So a couple of minutes gone in the last, and it's 36-all.
Good pressure over the ball from Audine Cobb.
Southby doesn't want to shoot from there. Bryant has been the steadier of the two. Must sink this one.
You had
Who's
to
got
say
it?
Didn't you? Put the mocker on her as well.
Southby. Well, if she survives this match, Has she got anything left for the final on that tender ankle? Harvey. Cobb, Delaney. Cobb nearly held onto it for too long. There's great pressure in defence from Melbourne.
Yeah, the full court defence from both teams is quite amazing. And I think your point is quite fair that whoever survives this match will have lost a lot in the getting to the final.
Lynch. Taverner.
Contact, all
McInnes,
attack.
Flyner. Melbourne get out of jail here. Maybe their greater depth would better equip them to go to a final. Flyner.
I think Melbourne are the best equipped team in the competition in terms of bringing out fresh legs and not losing anything in their combination.
There are the Synovus players waiting their turn to take on Sydney Energy.
Well, if they've come to study the match, they've got problems because it's very difficult to know who to watch. You've got to watch both with equal commitment, and it opened right up there. Sutter caught out wide, chasing the feed. Watch Sutter here. She tries to take the feed, but they swing it to the post to Southby. And the reply at the other end of the court from Contax.
So nearly 11 minutes left. Plenty of time for it to go either way as it remains a one-goal game.
Melbourne in quite a good position in that they have a one-goal lead and they have the centre running to their advantage.
Sutter. The crowd wanted a hell ball.
That, of course, can come undone now with the Contax intercept might swing things their way.
Sanders to Cobb.
Barney's contact, all attack.
Mercer to Sanders.
The hold's put on by Delaney at the back half of the circle. They swing it round to her.
Obstruction. Jumping in.
Obstruction against Taverner.
Interesting, Steve, that Melbourne's been, well, the second most consistent team. Great take there from Taverner. Sydney Energy, the most consistent, and yet upsets in the air.
Beautiful drive down court from Melbourne, and they retake the lead.
McInnes at full stretch, but Taverner up in the air, leaps high. She creates the opportunity for Melbourne.
Contax trail by one, but have it again. Harvey. Cobb and McInnes have had a great match against each other. Delaney. Once more. It's Melbourne.
Oh, and that was
Dan
through
Cross
Lynch's
thought about
hands.
it.
Norma Plummer is out of her seat, feet stamping. Yeah, there was hesitation on the whistle. We'll try and take another look at that if we can, but that's something Melbourne's been complaining about at that end of the court all through the match. The contact and the chopping on the hands of the attacking player as they take possession. And an opportunity gone missing for Melbourne.
Neal. 39-38, Melbourne lead it. 8:40 left. It's going to be a low-scoring final quarter.
I think we've said all match the defence has been superb. Taverner takes another one.
Benison, Southby. Liner runs to the corner away from Neal.
Southby puts the roll on but comes back to where she started.
Southby.
And have a look here. This is where Lynch goes up for the take. No, it looked, well, the contact was really before the take and then it was just through the hands, but you could see the strength of the appeal from Lynch.
It's Melbourne by one and they have possession. 7:50 on the clock. The winner to go through to the final and play one of the Sydney teams. Sharon Burge indicates Melbourne possession. Southby. teams are 5-all in this last quarter. Through nearly 8 minutes of play. Neil.
Oh, the drive from Neil. Flying has set her up for the fall. She pays for that.
Purser. Cobb.
I think Cobb's had a mighty game. One of the best performances I've seen on Simone McInnes. And at the moment, the balance lies with the contact shooters. They've got to stay in this game.
McInnes.
Turnovers, Steve, are locked at 6 apiece. Penalties, 5 against Melbourne, 7 against Contax. Pretty balanced final quarter.
Possession to Contax. Neil with the quicker hands. Harvey, Cobb. But Contax have found it almost impossible to get it to their goalers in the last couple of minutes.
I think Lynch and Taverner have lifted another degree for this last quarter. That's a good hold there from Delaney. Good positioning. The leveler.
40-all, Contax with possession. 6 minutes to go. If they're level at full time, they'll play extra time, 7 minutes each way. It's on the cards. Purser.
Oh, great shot from Sharon Purser. Pressure shot.
Calm as you please.
Cobb holds it up, fires it into Purser. She takes it well and nets.
Bryant. Oh. And Sharon Burge wants it brought back. That's against Southby.
And so difficult to hear the call. I mean, umpires really resorting to signals because the crowd's getting right behind this Contax effort.
Barney construction wing.
Sanders.
Purser runs into the mess at the top of the circle. That one goes wanting.
Wilson and Engo, the bundle of nerves. They team up by 1, but they've just created the turnover. McInnes.
Liner runs out of room. The pressure was on. Harvey signalling she was out of court.
Benison. Flyner again.
Harvey very nearly late into the circle of defence. So anxious was she to alert Jan Cross to that sideline throw. It's a goal now, though. The centre now running with Contax. Norma Plummer there on the bench. Great shot of her.
Yeah,
just frantic.
Normally doesn't have too much to say, but if ever you're going to, it's got to be now. Semi-final, 42-all, 4 to go. Cobb.
Contact ball attack.
Goes against Delaney. Backing into Taverner. Time's been called by Jan Cross because the ball's gone off the back.
Time on the whistle.
And Delaney here puts the hip through Janine Lee. No, it's Taverner.
Contact. Late.
And this time a shoulder charge against Cobb. Late in. And the umpire's calling every drop ball so that time isn't used up by the players in chasing the ball.
Taverner, Benison checks her feet. She's just in. Flyner. 42-all. 3:30 to go. Bryant.
Nice ball from Benison to Bryant, but no goal.
Neil. Contax need to keep calm here as Cobb and Sanders go for the same ball. They're on the same team. Delaney.
And Catherine Harvey playing a great captain's role here for Contax, just really directing the traffic down court. Well, I'm not sure about that call or that lack of call. That one's worth another look. I mean, something happened. It can't just be ignored.
Oh, Delaney, great take. She's a mile from home.
Great shot.
Sorry.
Let's have a look here. It would have been a great ball if Purser could have taken it, but Lynch right through the body on her. Needed a call, that one. I mean, this is for a place in a final for the Prime Minister's Cup.
Cobb stretches. McInnes gathers.
Wing attack.
2:30. Oh, Neil, great take out of the hands of Flyner.
And McInnes hesitated. She needed to give it or look elsewhere, but she's answered the error.
Lynch, Taverner, Flyner. Low-scoring match. What quality of defence. And Neil was just offside. Great match. It's worthy of a final. There are two other great teams in the semis as well. Southby.
Liner was close to footwork then. But that's the lead.
And Melbourne have the centre pass. Contax have to construct a turnover here somehow.
And this is again how just luck of the game. The centre now running with Melbourne, so they've got the break and then the centre.
Oh, Bryant, so lucky. Maybe that's the bit of luck they were looking for. 1:40 to go. Sanders, Contax have to goal quickly and then get the ball back. Delaney, will she shoot from there? Oh!
Using the post.
Using the post against Purser. Can't believe the call. And the match is starting to slip away from Adelaide Contax. Southby. Flyner. They don't have to hurry. The crowd will boo if they don't make a visible effort to get it to the goal.
Contact centre, Melbourne.
A minute to go.
No time.
And time still being held at every opportunity. I think it's not quite long enough though for Contax to recover. This one could seal it. Sutter up high, she had possession. She runs after it, and ironically that's one they don't call time on.
Sutter, Harvey, Neil, they've got to get it there so quickly.
Whose centre will it be if they score from this? I think it rests with Contax.
Delaney must go in.
Rebound, great rebound from the young shooter.
Oh, and again, this time it's Purser.
And of course it's eating up time every rebound. That's a Melbourne centre.
Flyner, Harvey gets a touch. They've got to be quick about it. The timekeeper gets out of a chair. Go, Harvey. Advance the penalty. And there it is, full time. The home side denied. Jan Cross acknowledges that Sharon Burgess called full time, and Melbourne get there by a goal. They're into the final. The crowd jeers, but they should be cheering what was a great match. Sure, the home side has been beaten, but what a wonderful game as Norma Plummer and Mark Ango exchange handshakes, and you don't like to see a loser after a great game like that. But boy, weren't Melbourne made to fight hard for it. They've got there. The team that finishes second in the competition beats the team that finishes third by that margin, 44-43. And Sargent talks to Simone McInnes.
Thanks, Steve. Well, Simone, congratulations on a superb result. You're into the final.
Yes, we are into the final. Certainly did it the hard way. One goal. It was a tough match all the way through, so it's going to be really hard for us to pull ourselves back up again and go again tomorrow for the final.
We all knew that last week's match between the two teams would count for nothing, but it was a whole new ball game. Contax really lifted, particularly their start, put you under pressure, and I thought you lost your timing.
Well, we did. It took us a long while to get into the match, our timing, to get it right. It came in patches. It wasn't consistent right throughout the game. That's something that we'll really have to work on again for the final. But, I mean, we hung on and we won by 1 goal, so, I mean, it was a good result in the end.
You're confident that the half-time changes in realigning your mid-court made a difference, or do you think it was just a matter of settling into your own game across the duration of the match?
I think it was a bit of both. We didn't have the movement in the first half, and we're really struggling to get it into our goal circle and across that transverse line. So we made the change hoping to get a bit more movement, but also our timing began to come back into the game as well. So it was a bit of both, a bit of changes and a bit of better work ethic throughout the team.
Thought it was the toughest full-court defence from two teams that we've seen throughout the series. There was nothing given in that entire match.
Well, it was one of the toughest games that I've played in for a long time. In that last quarter, obviously there was just nothing in it, and you're just trying to dig and try to just keep going, because you knew that every little bit that you did was going to count out there on court. I mean, there was some great work by both teams in the end in the pressure situation, so, I mean, it was a great game.
Well, I hope it hasn't taken too much out of you for tomorrow night's final. Congratulations.
Thanks, Anne. I hope it hasn't either.